To our program, so I know what we're supposed to do next, so please bear with us a few more moments. We have the recognitions that we'd like to share with you tonight, some wonderful people. If we think about the challenge that was presented to us tonight by Senator Gleason, many of us have a lot to think about, but tonight we also want to appreciate those who have already thought about it and done something. They not only thought, but they acted. And so we want to appreciate them tonight. We have with us our, I need to see the program. Make sure I get this in order. Thank you, sir. We have with us tonight presenting sponsors, as you can see. We have 5 awards, actually 7 awards that we'd like to present tonight. And as we prepare to present those awards, I'm going to ask the presenters to please come for each of these categories. We asked this year for individuals in the community to nominate someone who they felt had really been unsung, if you will, or had not had a lot of accolades or praises or recognition for the things that they have done in a community setting. And we wanted to appreciate them tonight. So we have these individuals who are nominated. So the Foundation for My Community College will present the Volunteer Award. And I've asked the presenters to please come to this side. And the Overcoming Adversity Award will be presented by Genesee County Community Mental Health. Our Leadership Award will be presented by Health Plus. The Nobility Award by Financial Plus Federal Credit Union. And then the Community Enrichment Award will be presented by Senator John Gleason. You have those persons listed in your program. But before they come, we want to also recognize a young lady who was nominated, and we had already completed the process, but she was nominated, and we wanted to give her recognition tonight. And as we prepare to do that, I'd like anyone that may not have been a part of the program, you didn't necessarily get nominated tonight, but if you have contributed to the life of an individual in any way that has been suffering with a kidney or kidney-related issue, I'd like for you to stand so we can appreciate you now. So I know some of you are out there. We already had the Hatter stand. We want you to stand again so we can give you some appreciation. If you have sat with a person around dialysis, if you transported them, I know, Bishop, you sitting down, and I know you see, so, well, we're going to appreciate you anyway, even though you won't stand up. Let's give them some appreciation. To come forward, and we want to give her a certificate of recognition. I'm going to ask Mr. Ekong if he would come forward. Ms. Stephanie Crockett. She donated her kidney to her niece, and her niece just graduated. Her niece just graduated with a PhD in pharmacy. Dialysis because of her donation. So the Universal Kidney Foundation would like to present you this certificate of recognition, and we appreciate knowing that you gave that gift of life. So please now, we want to come in this order. Foundation for my Community College. And as he is coming, we're going to prepare to receive our
Good evening. Dr. King once said, one of life's most urgent questions is, what are you doing for others? It is my privilege and my honor to present the Universal Kidney Foundation Unsung Hero Volunteer Award. It is awarded to an individual who has demonstrated exemplary, unselfish volunteer services to those affected by kidney or kidney-related illnesses. Ms. Rose McGee. Rose became a volunteer after the recovery after her recovery from having a kidney transplant. She wanted to give back to her community and to Hurley. Rose began volunteer on 7 East Family Nursing floor of Hurley Medical Center. On 7 East, Rose provides patient comfort, passes water, helps patients, and other basic duties. After a couple of years, Rose also began volunteering in a renal transplant office where she helped with office duties and meeting with patients getting ready for transplants. She has been instrumental in developing a kidney support group in Genesee County called Kidney Care. This support group is for patients that just had or are about ready to have a kidney transplant. Rose has not been well lately. However, after a brief recovery, she will initiate the Compassionate Care volunteer program, which is for those who are volunteering, wanting to assist those who are dying patients so they don't have to die alone. Giving is in Rose's demeanor. Rose is always positive and an inspiration to everyone she meets. She has been a volunteer at Hurley Medical Center for over 11 years and has donated over 700 hours. She deserves this award for her unselfish acts and her service to others. Rose was nominated by Lisa Hasselbeck, volunteer director at Hurley Medical Center. Please, let's give her a round of applause.
Good evening. It is my humble pleasure to present the Universal Kidney Foundation Overcoming Adversity Award to Mrs. Rochelle Grandhill.
All right,
An individual who is an inspiration to others based upon their courage to overcome significant personal challenges resulting from kidney or related illness. Whenever you see Mrs. Rochelle Grandhill, you see a sweet, quiet, and beautiful lady with a strong, uplifting spirit in song and praise.
Amen.
I believe if she would sing a song tonight, it would simply be If I Can Help Somebody. As I pass, then my living shall not be in vain. At the age of 63, Mrs. Rochelle Grandhill became a donor for her daughter, Tawana. In 2005, after a brief illness, Tawana was informed that she would need a kidney transplant. During the year and a half of her dialysis, her mother decided that she would get tested. She was found to be a match. On July 27, 2012, she shared that it was the 6-year anniversary of her donating her kidney to her daughter. Tawana said, "My mother did an unselfish act. I thank God for my mother, and I love her." Please join me in thanking God for Mrs. Grandhill.
Her daughter Tawana is here. We'd like her to stand. Tawana. And the husband will be a patient for us. I'd also like to say Mrs. Lisa Hasselbach is here. We'd like her to stand so she can be recognized. She nominated Miss Rose McKee. Please stand, Lisa.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Louis Hawkins. I'm the Community Relations Administrator for Health Plus of Michigan. And it is my distinct honor to present an award tonight as well. The award that I will be presenting is for the Unsung Heroes Leadership Award. And that award is presented to a business or organization whose mission supports assisting individuals with kidney or kidney-related illnesses and has demonstrated leadership in impacting their organization and community. So the person that I will be presenting tonight will not be an individual who's actually presented or given a kidney to anyone, but is an individual who has helped so many people to not have to have a kidney. That person is Linda Hamaker. She's the president and CEO of Genesee Health Plan. And Senator Gleason has already talked about the Genesee Health Plan. I just want to know by a show of hands, how many of you know about the Genesee Health Plan? That's terrific. That's pretty good. But we want to make sure that everybody knows about it. Every single person knows about it. Because, as Senator Gleason says, it's coming up for a vote to have that plan renewed by us, the voters. And so we want to make sure that everyone in this room and everybody that you know votes yes to have that plan renewed. That's because that plan is a community-based health plan that provides coverage and insurance for low-income residents who do not qualify for the general centralized health assistance programs. This is a plan where if it weren't for the Genesee Health Plan, we don't know what those people would do. They wouldn't be able to get assistance anywhere because they are low income, but they're not low income enough to qualify for the general centralized health assistance program. So that's why we had the Genesee Health Plan. And Linda is the president and CEO of that plan. Now, Linda doesn't know how I feel about her, but I see her as being a very intelligent, a very bright person, someone who is compassionate. She's a person who is innovative, she's creative. She even told me tonight about some idea about putting a picture that you can get of your kids on your clothes so that when you walk up to people and they want to know about your little baby, you can just, hit the little button and there will be this picture of your kid. I told her just go ahead and get your pattern for it. Because she's always coming up with ideas. The good thing about Linda, though, is she really is a leader. That's why she deserves this leadership award. She doesn't just think of ideas. She's got those leadership qualities that enable her to get those ideas implemented. So she works with other people, she collaborates, she gets cooperation, she gets involved, and then she doesn't just come up with the ideas, as Yvonne said earlier, she actually acts on them and get other people to work with her to act on them, to bring them into reality. Well, we need all of you to help with this Genesee Health Plan to make sure that it continues to be a reality in the future. Now, one of the things I want to say is that right now I want to bring together the connection between the Genesee Health Plan and the Universal Kidney Foundation. There's a direct link. One of the things that the Genesee Health Plan does is it tries to assist those people who have diabetes, who are pre-diabetic, who have hypertension. And it really does help those people through the Genesee Health Plan, through their programs. Well, those are the people, as Yvonne said earlier, are the main candidates for folk who are going to get kidney diseases. So if her plan is successful, then fewer people will get the kidney diseases. So there's that direct link, which is one of the reasons I'm so pleased to be able to make this presentation tonight. The other reason is a little bit more selfish, and it relates to my job at Health Plus of Michigan. We've worked with Linda for years on a program called Cover the Uninsured program, Cover the Uninsured. And we've worked with her as a collaborator, and that is a program that's designed, again, to try to cover those people who are uninsured or who are underinsured. And then finally, what I'd like to say about Linda is that she has this kind of commitment. I was reading her bio, and there was a word that was not in the lines that I saw, but all between the lines is there, and that's a passion for what she does. And so it is a pleasure for me to present Linda Hamaker, who is, we know, our unsung hero for leadership.
The gentleman with the camera is one of the ones responsible for nominating Linda along with Heather Bell. We appreciate them for that nomination. And now, Federal Plus, Financial Plus. Appreciation for Jake, who is representing Financial Plus Federal Credit.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jake with Financial Plus Federal Credit Union, and I am very honored to be here today amongst everyone in this room. Sounds like there's a lot of heroes out here today. And I have, again, the honor to actually present an award to one of them amongst us. I'm going to be presenting the Unsung Hero Award for Nobility. This award is going to be presented to an individual who, without reservation and with great courage, shared unselfishly of themselves through organ donation to save the life of another. Mr. Michael Thomas. Come on up. Mr. Michael Thomas. Really, there's no better way to tell the story of Mr. Mikey Thomas other than through the words of Miss Wanda L. Baker, sitting down there at the table as well. So, in her words, Mikey and I met about 20 years ago at my church. We lost contact with each other and met back up again about 5 to 6 years later. We connected and tried dating for about 2 years. For some reason, Mikey and I could just never really connect as boyfriend and girlfriend, so we agreed to be just friends. About a year after our breakup, I was diagnosed with polycystic kidney disease, a highly hereditary disease that runs strongly in my family. I was told I would need to go on dialysis within a year and would need to transplant. Michael has always been in a great physical shape, never drank alcohol, smoked cigarettes, or did any drugs. When he heard that I was sick and needed a kidney, he called me and said, "Wanda, if you can use it, I want to donate my kidney to you." So Mikey went and got tested. It was a match. Because of his generosity, I never had to go on dialysis. I have had my transplant for almost 10 years now, and Mikey has never stopped doing the things he's always loved to do. He's an avid golfer, plays softball, basketball, and jogs. Most of all, he's a good man of God with a heart of gold. Wanda explained, every morning I rise, I thank God first, and then I thank him again for putting Mikey on this earth. Michael is truly a hero and deserves to be recognized for his unselfish act and literally saving my life. Please help me to welcome Mr. Michael Thomas to receive the Unsung Hero Award.
Wanda, would you stand please so we can recognize you? Recipient. Senator Gleason.
Pam Williams, come on down. I always wanted to do that. I was asked to make this presentation, and I wanted to do something in a special way. I didn't want to write a word down. I wanted to talk about this lady from my heart, because that's where it's coming from. I've known this lady since my transplant days. Pam Williams. She saved an awful lot of lives. When we knew we could do more and we could do better, this is the lady that we went to about starting soda. Now, I told you about the rough start we had, trying to get the cultural differences set aside. We couldn't have done that without Pam. This lady did so much for so long. I want you to take this home with you, just to know what kind of people we have in our community. Because of the work that Sister Williams did, SOTA, they were the recipient of a national award for increasing organ donation and transplants here in our community. This was given by the United States Department of Health and Human Services, right from Washington, D.C. This lady did that by herself. What an honor. She had more stuff going on. Every moment of every day, SOTA was on her mind. When SOTA was stopped a few years ago, we weren't in favor of that. And we're going to get that going again. But she didn't stop. It was only a short time here. I seen over at Gracie Manuel. She was running the health fair so that people would sign up for organ donation. Even though SOTA stopped, Pam Williams didn't. She continued. She's still doing it today. No one can understand the amount of work that she undertook. Every year she'd have a major event. She would show off Hurley Hospital and all the things that were happening at that marvelous facility. There was a great event every April, because that's Organ Donation Awareness Month in our state. Pam always had a huge celebration and a great education process. She brought in folks that were known nationally to help promote organ donation. All the work that she put in organizing that event. Thousands of leaflets went across our county and the neighboring communities asking people to be part of the organ donation process. I remember one night I was in Detroit. Wow, we were down in Ramona Chapman's area, down in Detroit. And she was given the recognition. Now, most of us will know the name Ron Gettelfinger. He was the international president of the UAW. But she ended up on the stage with Brother Gettelfinger because of the work she did up here at Flint, Michigan. We don't read about this. And we don't hear about this. Pam is one that was shortchanged by Genesee County media. She worked hard. When I see how good Rosie McGee's doing, and how good Wanda's doing, and those that have been recognized this evening, that's why people that do what Pam Williams do, why they're important. I call her Sister Williams, and she is a sister to me. A lot of good things were done in our community because of her. And it is really an honor. It really is an honor. The title is Community Enrichment, that she's going to be recognized for this evening. But you know, folks, when we look at the recipients, the individuals tonight, we, honest to God, could interchange every one of them. The titles did not limit what they did and who they did it for. Every one of these awards, the leadership, though it was given to Linda, it could have been given to Pam. It could have been given to Ms. Redcal. All these are interchangeable. All these designations this evening. So I want to thank you, Pam, for making our life so much better. You are a saint, and so is coming back. Thank you very much.
The next two awards we'll present were not in the book because they will be recognized in the book next year because they are somewhat of a surprise, particularly to one individual. This individual has was a part of the Universal Kidney Foundation in its very infancy. When nobody else was there, she was there, sometimes alone, trying to figure out how to make things work. She had a connecting responsibility where she also would go and sit with people who couldn't be alone in their dialysis, and they didn't have anyone that could sit with them. So she didn't know this was going to be presented to her tonight, but I'm going to ask her husband, Mr. Reverend Elder Clarence Whitmore, would you please escort your wife, Effie Johnson Whitmore, to the stage, please? Receiving what we're calling the first Eagle Award. She wore dual hats. She worked for Genesis Total Health Care. Wow. Escort you, please.
Would you please?
Wait for her. She's so surprised. She just walked off and left it. But when I had the privilege to come to the Universal Kidney Foundation, I found Miss Effie there. They were working on the first banquet. They were working to put together, and a lot of things were going on. And she had some help, and then the help was gone. But she continued to try to work to make sure that the efforts of the Universal Kidney Foundation continued. And so I certainly want to express my appreciation to you, Miss Effie. And there was a young lady that was here earlier. She put an ad in the book, and you'll see Miss Carmen Cooper under Noah Enterprises. She's not here, she had to leave, but if you look at her expression in there, she came to the foundation shortly after I had been there working on her master's degree. And I told her to talk to Miss Effie and get information, and she utilized that information to complete her coursework for her degree. And so she expresses thank you for that kindness. But Miss Effie not only talked with people every day when she could to try to help them understand, but she also found out that her son was challenged with kidney disease. And in spite of all that she was going through, she still reached out to help others. And today, she still sits with people who don't have a family member or loved one who could sit at dialysis with them for hours or other medical appointments for hours to make sure that they're okay. So, Ms. Effie, Mr. Econ will present to you the Eagle Award at our second annual gala. We thank you so much. That's one of the things, oh, she's got something to say.
Thank you so much.
One of the things we found out as we seek to make a difference is that there are many people who could be on a transplant list, but because of the lack of social support, they don't have anybody that can get them to the hospital in time, they don't have anybody that can sit with them after the surgery, they cannot get on the list. Part of our work with the Universal Kidney Foundation is to help to ensure that we can fill those gaps. So what you're doing here tonight is helping us to reach that goal. So we thank you so much. Now Mr. Econ will present our final Eagle Award for the evening.
Our final Eagle Award goes to Dr. Isai. Can you come up here? Dr. Isai has been with the Early Medical Center since 1991? 87. I got my stats wrong. But Dr. Isai is a pioneer in the community in terms of medicine and as well as helping the community. He is one of the front runners for North Point Clinic, and he's done so much in the community. And there are a whole lot of physicians that we work with. But one of the reasons that he's winning this Eagle Award is that his heart for the community, what he's doing for the community. Among his colleagues, he's well respected. He is, for the past 4 years, he was the chief of staff at Hurley, and now he's going to be the chief of the, what is the new position?
I was the chief of Lieutenant Million Department, and I'll be the chief of the staff.
Okay, he's about to be the chief of staff now. But Dr. Isai is one of those physicians that you can go to, that he could always direct you and always ready to help. He's done so much in the community, more so in a very depressed community. When we talk about insurance and non-insured folks, he's always out there and helping. So he's receiving this Eagle Award. Congratulations and thanks for all you've been doing. I don't know. Just give us a little second there. We got an IT folks trying to fix things or whatever. To thank everybody for coming and all the help that we have received with the Universal Kidney Foundation. I also want to mention the building project that we have going. This is something that we had presented last year. On the Client Road, Universal Kidney Foundation has this property that we're about to put up a building, and the building has pretty much been funded. We already have pre-approval on the building. This is a building we're hoping to get into doing more research, more education, and also be able to stabilize the Universal Kidney Foundation as a headquarters here in Flint, Michigan. In saying that, it's a whole lot caught up for us in the future. We have a whole lot to do. Senator Gleason was just saying, just knowing what's involved in kidney and kidney-related illnesses, he was just saying, man, you got a whole lot in your hand. It is true that we're going to need all the support that we need to get this going. I want to thank everybody for being here. We're going to do this again next year, and we're hoping that we're going to have a better turnout and a better support that we had today. Thank you very much.